We're joined today by women's soccer head coach Michael Bolanz, who last fall completed his 8th year as the soccer head coach here at St. Joe's. 2011 record, 7-5-5 overall, 6-3-4 in GNAC play, a record that was good for the number 8 seed in the conference tournament. Coach, what would you say about last season in general, just kind of covering with a statement?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a better year than the year before. I think when we, the year before when we didn't make the playoffs, it was a little devastating for the girls on the team, and I think they put it into their mindset that that wasn't going to happen again. So it was a good rebounding year for us. That being the first year we didn't make the playoffs. We had a very young team this year. I think at times we started probably 8 freshmen and sophomores. So it definitely led towards a youth movement, and I think that youth movement definitely made a lot of impacts in the season, but it also led to some youthful moments. I think we won games that we probably shouldn't have won, and I think we lost games that we had no business losing. So it was kind of a lot of highs and there were some lows there, but I thought the progression of the group as a whole was a positive one. I think we're ready to continue to build into that positive direction. I think unfortunately we lose 3 seniors. Shannon Fitzgerald, Caitlin Call, and Caitlin Schrum. They were all, really important to our program. Shannon and Caitlin Call were 2-time captains. Shannon was a 2-time all-conference defender and a starting center back, and she's going to truly be missed into this program. But I think with the players that we had underneath her, that I think we're going to be able to still continue to move on and progress in a positive manner, and maybe even get a higher seed next year going into the playoffs. And that's our goal every year, is just to kind of continue to strive towards that excellence or to become better every day.
Well, absolutely correct with the young team. There's going to be some highs and some lows. You don't really know what to expect going in. Certainly some of the first-year players had huge impacts on the team right away. Some scorers, some off-the-ball play. And the improved play of your sophomore goalkeeper, Jackie Lorenzen, who earned second-team all-conference honors, was just tremendous. And talk a little bit about Jackie, you having been a goalkeeper yourself.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I've known Jackie since she was probably maybe a sophomore, maybe even younger than that in high school. She used to come and do the camps. Well, she used to come and be a camper at the camps we used to do here on campus way back when, and she just grew up in the next town over in Windham. And it's funny, and it's been great to see her progression from where she was when I first met her to where she is now as a sophomore goalkeeper. I think she made huge strides this year, from even her freshman year being named a second-team all-conference player. She was named a captain for this upcoming season, so she'll be a junior captain for us. So that really shows that the team has noticed her progression as well, both on and off the field, and we look for big things for her. Being a goalkeeper myself, I know the impact that goalkeeper can make on a program and in a team, and we're hoping that she can make that big impact for us next year and 2 years to come.
Perhaps no game bigger for her and for your team last year was the 1-0 victory over at LaSalle on their home pitch, kind of midway late through the season. A 1-0 win. Kind of talk about that win. I think that kind of told people, like you talked about, maybe you had no business winning that game, but no, I wouldn't go that far with that. But it did maybe wake up some other teams around the league that St. Joe's has some real talent.
Yeah, I think definitely the conference and the region took notice. I think that was LaSalle's first loss in the conference up until that point, maybe even to the season. And I know that was their senior home game. It was a big event for them. I think it was their homecoming weekend. So I think us coming down there and getting a victory and playing well, I thought overall, and getting the bounces that we needed to secure that win, it was a big confidence booster for our group. And I think it showed to all our younger players and our older players that, hey, we belong here, and we belong in that that conversation of teams that can win the conference. And I think that made a big difference for the rest of the season. And I think it put us on a little bit of a roll. I think it did maybe lead to an early exit in the playoffs when we had to go back down there and play LaSalle. As them being the number 1 seed, I think they had plenty of motivation going into that game. But in general for our program, I think that win was a big win, just to set a tone going forward for our younger players and our program in general.
Now talk about some of your first-year players that were contributors going into their sophomore year. Of course, Dolecki led the team in goals with 7 and points with 16. Danny Daigle, Kim Jordan, Lizzie Callanan, Catherine Murch. I mean, the names go on and on. Certainly one of the best freshman classes in recent memory.
Yeah.
Talk about their development and how important they will be going forward.
Yeah, I think you can start right from the back of the field all the way up top. I think Megan Ford, as a freshman who came in and became one of our starting center backs, was a huge impact for us. Very technical player. She's calmed that back line down and really stepped into that role very nicely, and someone that I'm going to look forward to be that anchor, that back line going forward. Then you talk about Catherine Murch, who came in here from Shakopee Valley. He made a huge impact right away. Probably one of the better overall players, and I think she's someone that could definitely be in the conversation of being a first-team all-conference player or player of the year, down the road. Then you could probably say that about a bunch of them that came in last year. You talk about your Lizzie Calnans, your Kim Jordans, your Danny Dagels, your Dola Keys, your Sam Peters, all came in and make impact for us last year in different ways and in different positions. The best thing I could say about all of them, though, is they just have a will to win and a will to get better and a will to compete. And I think you can't ask for much more than that from a group of players that were able to make an impact, right away. And I think we continue to have players that are in that freshman class that, even going into their sophomore year, you'll start talking about those names as well. So I think it was a very deep freshman class, and I think you're going to hear a lot of those names kind of for the years to come. You can even add the Kelly Flahertys and the Lauren Tituses of the world and Brias into the world to where I hope to see them take that next step into the program next year and next fall.
Now, your program is at the stage where playing in the summer is not a question. It's usually you better be playing in the summer. And I know a lot of your young ladies are playing in good leagues. How important is that for them to be involved in some competitive soccer in the summertime?
It's crucial, and obviously at the Division III level, we can't make them do what they do in the summer. And I think that's a great thing about Division III too, is because that student athlete becomes the best they want to be. It's up to them how good they want to become, and I think that's a true gift to the Division III athlete. And we're lucky to have those players that want to do that during the summer. We have quite a few players playing in a really high level league down in Massachusetts this summer, and we have a couple players from local towns playing in that WPSL league for Seacoast United, and that's going to be some great competition from some Division I players, Division II, Division III playing in that league. So I'm excited that they're all playing during the summer. I think the more touches on the ball that they can get, the better off and more prepared they're going to be coming into the season, especially playing at those high pace games that some of those players are playing in the summer.
Now, some potential landmarks here coming up this season. Coach, you sit on 89 victories, so you're just that close to being the first soccer coach here at St. Joe's to reach triple digits. And also, kind of a neat fact, the program is 3 goals away from 1,000 in the history of the program. A very storied women's soccer team here at St. Joe's. What do those numbers mean for this program?
I think first the 3 goals from being 1,000. I think that does just show how great this women's soccer program's been. Not since I've taken it over, but even before that. There's a laundry list of names of players that have played here that are very strong soccer players, and all Americans, all state players. Any accolade you can think of in the soccer world that they've received, and I think that's the more important of the plateaus that we hopefully will reach. Hopefully early on in the season, hopefully in the first game of the season, we can reach that goal to get it out of the way. And I think that's going to be a special moment for the program, for that to be recognized. 1,000 goals. Goals are hard to come by in soccer, and overall our program's not that old, compared to a lot of other schools. So I think that is a pretty prestigious moment that will take place next season. When it comes to my personal wins, it's a team game, you know what I mean? And especially for a soccer coach, where I have nothing to do with what happens during a soccer game. We try to prepare well for it, and then as soon as that whistle blows, it's on the players that are on the pitch. So it's really more of a team award than anything else. And I've just been lucky to be able to be around a bunch of young women that have, won a lot of games, have come together. I think we've had 10+ win seasons every year, but maybe 2 since I've been here. And I think that is the true testament of them and the way they play in our style and our women's soccer program, more than my coaching, I guess. So
very modest, Coach. Now, returners, we've talked about, departing seniors. How about the class that you have coming in? Obviously, we mentioned that the freshman class last year was excellent. Also was a sophomore class and rising juniors, and Katie Chambers, Ashley Bolio, names like that. But talk about your incoming recruiting class.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be a class just like we've had. I think we've had the ability to have a bunch of good classes in a row, and if we can keep building each year with a class that's even maybe better than the year before, I think that's going to make a big impact. And they're going to have some great upperclassmen to kind of learn from. Like you said, we have the Ashleys and the Katie Chambers and the Casey Monahans and the Jen Keeneys. They're all going to be part of this program that have been through it a couple years now. That the expectation is that they make impacts on the game and they take the underclassmen under their wing. We have that big sister, little sister program that I think is really beneficial to the incoming players, and hopefully a few of them can kind of work hard this summer and come in and make an impact for us next fall. It's always great to have a balance of your classes, you know what I mean? So, and I think we have that, or we have the potential of having that with this class that's coming in, to where we'll have a really solid senior class, a really solid junior class, a really solid sophomore class, and now another really solid freshman class. And I think that's any coach's dream, is to have that balance between the 4 years. And I wish it was August 20th, right now, so we can get going and kind of move in and see what we have for next year.
That time will be here before we know it. And well, thanks a lot, Coach. Congrats on another successful season. Thanks for your time, and good luck this fall.
Thank you.